16 years old, an Olympic gold medalist, and already smashing records like it's nothing. Quincy Wilson isn't just fast, he's rewriting history. He just broke his own high school 400m record, and now he's eyeing even bigger milestones. So the real question is, how much faster can this kid get?
24 Youth Athlete of the Year, my Bullets brother, my Team USA brother, and clearly my little brother.
Imagine being 16 years old, still in high school, balancing classes, exams, and a social life. And then suddenly, you're an Olympic gold medalist. That's exactly what happened to Quincy Wilson. This kid isn't just fast, he's rewriting history. When he stepped onto the track at the Paris Olympics, most of the athletes around him were older, stronger, and more experienced. But did that intimidate him? Not even a little. Wilson became the youngest male track and field champion in Olympic history when he helped Team USA secure gold in the men's 4x 400-meter relay. Think about that for a second. He was just 16 years old, and he was out there competing on the biggest stage in the world, representing his country. It's the kind of thing you see in movies, but for Wilson, it was real life. His Olympic journey started at the US trials, where he put the world on notice by twice breaking the under-18 world record in the 400 meters. That alone was enough to turn heads. But then he made it to the relay team, becoming the youngest American male track athlete to ever compete at the Games. When he hit the track in Paris, he wasn't just running, he was making history. During the heats, Wilson ran the first leg of the 4x400m relay. It wasn't his best performance. He finished his lap in 7th place, but he did his job, helping the team qualify for the final. And in track and field, just running in the heats of a relay is enough to earn a medal if your team wins. That's exactly what happened. When the US squad, with a fresh lineup, won gold in the final, Wilson officially became an Olympic champion. To put this into perspective, some of the greatest track stars in history didn't even touch Olympic gold until their mid-20s or later. Usain Bolt, for example, was 21 when he won his first Olympic title. Quincy Wilson was still a junior in high school. It's unheard of. And while some athletes might let that kind of achievement get to their heads, Wilson is different. Instead of dwelling on his past success, he's already thinking about what's next. Here's the craziest part about Wilson's story. Being one of the fastest teenagers on the planet isn't even his #1 priority. You'd think a guy who just made Olympic history would be all about track, but no. According to Wilson, he's actually more focused on school than he is on running. That's right, he's a straight-A student, and his academic record is just as impressive as his track stats. While most kids his age struggle to keep up with homework, Wilson is out here acing pre-calculus, anatomy, physiology, and even photography. And it's not like he's taking easy classes. This guy is going all in on tough subjects while still training like an elite athlete. His daily routine is brutal. He wakes up at 5 a.m., and let's be honest, who actually likes waking up that early? Catches the bus by 6:15 and is in school by 7:30. Then, after a full day of classes, instead of heading home to relax like a normal teenager, he's off to the track for practice from 3 to 6 p.m. By the time he finally gets home, he still has homework to do and tests to study for. It's a grind, but somehow he makes it all work. You might be wondering, why does he put so much emphasis on school when he's already an Olympic champion? Simple. Wilson knows that track won't last forever. He's thinking long term. He's got dreams beyond running, maybe something in engineering, which is why he's so into his earthquake-resistant building project at school.
Moved his way up into 4th, but running away with it is Archbishop Carroll on the lead.
But let's be real, balancing elite sports and top-tier academics isn't easy. Most student athletes struggle to juggle both, but Wilson thrives on it. He's got this laser focus that helps him dominate in both areas. And while he still hasn't decided which college he's going to, one thing is for sure. Wherever he ends up, he'll be surrounded by greatness, both in the classroom and on the track. If you thought Wilson peaked at the Olympics, think again. This guy is just getting started. Fast forward to this indoor season, and he's already shattering records like it's nothing. In early February, he stepped onto the track at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston. and ran a mind-blowing 45.66 seconds in the 400 meters. That wasn't just fast, it was record-breaking. He literally broke his own high school indoor 400m record. Think about that. He's competing against himself at this point, and he's not stopping there. Next up is the Millrose Games, where he'll be taking on the 600-meter race. Now, this is going to be interesting because the current high school record for the 600m is 1:15.58. Last year, Wilson ran a 1:17, which means if he can drop just 2 seconds, he could add another record to his name. That's a tall order, but if there's one thing we've learned about Wilson, it's that he thrives on challenges. But records aside, what makes Wilson truly special is his mindset. He doesn't just show up to races expecting to win, he shows up ready to fight. He doesn't care if he's racing against grown men with years of experience. He lines up with confidence, knowing that at the end of the day, speed is speed. That's what makes him so exciting to watch. He's unpredictable in the best way possible. One day, he's breaking high school records. The next, he's out there competing with world-class sprinters and holding his own. And who knows, at this rate, we might even see him break into the professional scene before he even graduates high school. For Quincy Wilson, that change has been massive. Suddenly, he's not just a fast kid from Maryland. He's one of the most talked about young athletes in the world. Cameras follow him, headlines are written about him, and fans want to know what's next. But the crazy part, he handles it all like a pro. Most teenagers would struggle with that kind of attention. The sudden fame, the interviews, the pressure to perform. It can get overwhelming. But Quincy? He seems unfazed. He's not caught up in the hype or letting the spotlight distract him. If anything, he's using it as motivation to keep pushing himself. He's got this incredible mindset where he's always looking forward, never getting too comfortable with past success. Even after winning Olympic gold, he didn't sit back and celebrate for too long. He was already back at work, training, studying, and preparing for the next challenge. But that doesn't mean he isn't enjoying the ride. Since the Olympics, Quincy has had some surreal experiences. He's met celebrities like Jay-Z, visited top colleges, and even spent time with his favorite NFL team, the Baltimore Ravens. Imagine getting personal invites to meet star athletes and being gifted gear from NFL players. That's the kind of life he's living now, and he deserves it. He's put in the work, and now he's getting the recognition. Despite all of this, one of the biggest questions surrounding Quincy right now is, what's next? What's his plan? Well, college is definitely in the picture. He hasn't committed anywhere yet, but he's got his eyes set on a school that offers the perfect balance, elite athletics, and top-tier academics. That makes sense because, as we know, he's just as focused in the classroom as he is on the track.
Quincy's into second for Bullis. Samantha Pavlik around the outside of St. Elizabeth.
Beyond college, though, things get even more interesting. Could Quincy Wilson turn professional before he even graduates high school? It's not impossible. We've seen other track phenoms make that jump early. And with the kind of talent he has, some brands and sponsors would probably love to sign him right now. But knowing him, he'll take his time, weigh his options, and make the best decision for his future. One thing's for sure, this is only the beginning for him. Whether he turns pro soon or takes the college route first, he's got a long, exciting career ahead. Now, you might be wondering, how does Quincy Wilson compare to other teenage track stars? Is he really that much of an outlier? The short answer, absolutely. But let's talk about another young sprinter who's been making waves. Gout from Australia. If you haven't heard of him yet, remember the name. This kid just broke a 35-year-old Australian U18 400m record, running 46.20 seconds. That's insanely fast. To put it into perspective, Quincy's best time is still ahead of that, but Gout is right on his heels. So what does this mean for track and field? Well, it's a sign that we're entering a new era. For a long time, sprinting was dominated by athletes in their 20s, with most sprinters peaking later in their careers. But now, we're seeing a new generation of teenage stars who aren't just competing at a high level. They're breaking records and challenging grown men. Quincy and Gout are part of that shift, and it's making the sport more exciting than ever. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.